The San Francisco 49ers have signed safety Tony Jefferson, but first, the 49ers Report by Chat Sports is made possible thanks to our friends at Manscaped. Go to manscaped.com/49ers, enter the promo code 49ers, and you get 20% off plus free shipping on the best men's grooming products. Happy Monday and welcome into the 49ers Report by Chat Sports. I am Chase Sr. Some breaking news early on a Monday. The 49ers have signed free agent safety Tony Jefferson as a depth piece and a camp body who's going to be able to realistically compete for a 53-man roster spot. According to ESPN's Adam Schefter, Tony Jefferson has signed with the 49ers as of early on Monday morning. Last played for the Baltimore Ravens in 2019, but has not played since because he is coming off a torn ACL in which he suffered during the 2019 season. This tweet coming from Adam Schefter around 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 a.m. Pacific time on Monday morning. Former Ravens safety Tony Jefferson, who hasn't played since he tore his ACL in 2019, is coming back, and he is signing with the San Francisco 49ers per source. A little bit of a background on Jefferson. Has some talent, but that torn ACL just zapped him for the 2019 season as well as in 2020 when he did sit out. Undrafted free agent coming out of Oklahoma back in 2013, able to prove himself early on in his career, and in the first couple of years in his career, he was considered to be one of the best safeties across the NFL. Spent his first 4 years with the Arizona Cardinals, obviously a team that the 49ers are very familiar with, so they do have some background on Jefferson, and because he did play so well in his first 4 years as a UDFA, was able to sign a 4-year, $19 million guaranteed contract back in 2017 with Baltimore. Unfortunately, though, just didn't live up to expectations. Wasn't the player that the Ravens had expected or hoped for. And then in 2019, of course, he tore that ACL. So I think this is going to be a depth piece, a guy who's a camp body. He's going to be able to provide depth behind the safeties on the roster right now, and Jimmie Ward and Jaquiski. Tartt, do you like the signing of Tony Jefferson? I know it's not the move that a lot of 49ers fans wanted to be made. They wanted a wide receiver, one from the Atlanta Falcons in Julio Jones. Instead, the 49ers go defense with this signing. Type Y for yes, I like the signing. Type N for no. Be sure to get your votes in the comment section down below. If you haven't already subscribed to the 49ers Report by Chat Sports, this is a reason why you should. Because Tony Jefferson signs with the Niners, and within an hour and a half, we're pushing out a video bringing you all of the latest and breaking all of this down. So either hit that red subscribe button down below or go to youtube.com/49ers TV for the best 49ers coverage here on YouTube. Let's take a look at what Tony Jefferson has done throughout his career, and it's been a pretty solid career for a guy who didn't get drafted out of Oklahoma. 450 career tackles, 4 interceptions, 22 pass breakups, as well as 8 forced fumbles. This is a guy who brings you a physical presence, is pretty solid in coverage, but is also really physical around the line of scrimmage, but is also very active in the backfield. And he's going to be added to the equation with this defensive back group that I think has the makings of being one of the better groupings across the NFL. 49ers were very active in NFL free agency, and with the signing of Jefferson, continue to be active, adding pieces to the secondary. But I really like the makeup of it. You have Jason Verrett. You have K'Waun Williams, You have Jimmie Ward, Jaquiski Tartt, Emmanuel Moseley. You address the cornerbacks and safeties in the NFL draft by drafting Deommodore Lenoir, as well as Ambry Thomas and Talanoa Hufanga, who can be a safety linebacker hybrid. And now you bring in Tony Jefferson, who's going to be able to compete for a backup role on this roster. And if Jimmie Ward or Jaquiski Tartt go down, Jefferson has the experience to be able to realistically step in, and there won't be a massive drop-off if he's able to prove during training camp that he is in fact healthy coming off that torn ACL, which of course is a little bit of a concern that happened back in 2019. But for the 49ers to sign Jefferson, they had to have done a physical, and they had to have looked at his medicals. Everything must have checked out there, so that tells me that Jefferson is in pretty good shape. And look, maybe not playing in 2020 was good for him because he was able to to recharge and get his body right. Do you think Jefferson will make the 53-man roster? It's going to be some good competition at the safety spot, as well as that in that entire secondary. Type M for yes, he's going to make the roster. Type W for nah, I don't think he's going to. Get your votes in the comment section down below. Tony Jefferson throughout his career has been a good ball hawk. If you want to hawk down your balls and clean everything up downstairs, we have an answer for you. It's the Manscaped Lawnmower 4.0, which just came out back a couple weeks ago. I used it over the weekend, and I can honestly tell you it is life-changing. 4 interchangeable blades. There's technology where you won't get cut up whether you're shaving down below, shaving your beard, or your hair. And there is a light so that you're able to see everything that you're doing. Now, that seems like something small, but the light on the Lawnmower 4.0 is legit because you're able to see some of those hairs and areas that you can't normally see thanks to that light, and you will be not looking scary for your lady. You'll be all cleaned up, and you'll be tracking down your balls just like Tony Jefferson. So go to manscaped.com/49ers, enter the promo code 49ers. You get 20% off plus free shipping on the best men's grooming products, including the brand new Lawnmower 4.0 from Manscaped. Let's do some more background on Tony Jefferson. By bringing him in, this is an opportunity for him to resume his career. And I talk about him not getting drafted out of Oklahoma, really had to prove himself in the early portion of his career. He was able to do that in 4 years with the Arizona Cardinals. That's why he was able to earn that 4-year, fully guaranteed $19 million contract. Unfortunately, when he went to Baltimore, he was one of the rare players who went to the Ravens and underperformed, because usually guys who go there on the defensive side of the football, especially under Doc Wink Martindale, they flourish and they end up having career years. Tony Jefferson, not in that conversation. He does have experience, which is why I think it bodes well for him to compete for a roster spot and maybe make the 53-man roster if he is indeed healthy, because he started a bunch of games throughout his entire career, 66 of them to be exact. So he can spot start for you. He can also come in as a backup or a depth piece. Can he play special teams as well? If he's able to do that in training camp as well as in minicamp and prove himself in that regard, that further helps him making the roster as well. Also, he's solid in coverage, okay? He's not going to be a world beater in coverage. He's not going to display vertical, horizontal speed and blow you away in that regard, but he's at least solid in coverage as well. And I think why DeMeco Ryans might like this signing as well is because you can use him in a variety of ways because he does have versatility to him. You can put him back in coverage in the deep secondary, and he can kind of roam and play center field. But if you want to go heavy in the box and you want to bring him up toward the line of scrimmage in the run game, especially in heavy pass sets against tight ends, you can do that as well, because throughout his career, he's been active in the backfield. He has 8.5 career sacks. There's some tackles for loss there, but also there are the pass breakups that we mentioned. And 49ers fans are really going to like him too, because this is a guy who is really, really physical. And when he's right, he can play like a heat-seeking missile. So I like the signing of Jefferson. I don't think you're going to expect him to start right away, especially with Jimmie Ward, who's the longest tenured player on this 49ers roster, as well as Jaquiski Tartt, who the 49ers brought back late in free agency, but a solid player who has a pretty impressive resume when he is indeed healthy. So grade the 49ers 2021 secondary for me. It's pretty simple. Just get into the comments, give it a letter grade down below, A, B, C, D, or F. I'm going to go with a solid B+ heading into 2021.